Good morning. Today, we are announcing a historic milestone. Today, we're reporting that the Commonwealth of Kentucky just posted the lowest unemployment rate in state history. This fantastic news is further proof that the Commonwealth's record-breaking economic momentum is benefiting all Kentuckians. The U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics first began reporting state unemployment rates 45 years ago in 1976. This morning, we learned that the Kentucky Center for Statistics, that our seasonally adjusted preliminary April 2022 employment rate was 3.9%, the lowest rate ever recorded. It is crystal clear. Kentucky's economy is absolutely on fire. And today's report shows the continued success is benefiting Kentuckians all across the Commonwealth. We've secured our spot as a leader by establishing Kentucky as the U.S. capital for electric vehicle battery production and the U.S. capital for agriculture technology. We're seeing huge investments in the food and beverage industry, in metals, and recently in pharma and in biotech. So given this momentum, I also have a jobs announcement to make. Today, we congratulate Catalent, Inc., which partners with pharma, biotech, and consumer health companies to optimize the development, launch, and life cycle supply of products for patients around the world on a $175 million investment to expand its existing operation and to add an R&D facility in Clark County, creating 277 high-wage jobs for Kentuckians. With this investment, the existing 190,000 square foot Winchester facility on Enterprise Drive will grow by 90,000 square feet to increase manufacturing capacity within Catalent's oral dose division. The company will also acquire nearly 17,000 square foot facility, which will house a research and development operation, not just the workers, but the thinkers for this great company. New positions created in one of my home counties, Clark County, will include but aren't limited to scientists, manufacturing, quality assurance, maintenance, and warehouse positions. We are building a better Kentucky, where our people can have a better quality of life through better jobs, world-class education opportunities, quality and affordable and accessible health care, and strong infrastructure. We're not just talking about building a better Kentucky, we are doing it day in and day out. This news follows a year where we shattered every economic development on the books with a record $11.2 billion of new private sector investment, a record 18,000 new jobs at the second highest hourly wage that we have ever announced. And over the last 2+ years, adding 33,000 new Kentucky jobs with more than $17 billion in new investment. Our momentum is being noted by even the toughest critics, with both S&P Global Ratings and Fitch Ratings recently upgrading Kentucky's financial outlook to positive for the first time in 15 years. And just last week, we reported the best ever general fund receipt for any month in Kentucky's history at $1.84 billion. This administration has generated the largest surplus in state history, and we now have the largest rainy day fund in our history. And as noted earlier this week, we just announced that Site Selection Magazine placed Kentucky 6th in its annual Prosperity Cup rankings for all 50 states that recognizes state-level economic success based on capital and investments. In addition, two of the Commonwealth's most significant recent projects, Ford Motor Company and SK Innovation's Blue Oval SK Battery Park in Hardin County, and the recently operationalized Amazon Air Hub in Boone County, ranked 3rd and 11th in top deals in North America for 2021. We had 2 of the top 11 biggest deals last year. We're proving that Kentucky is no longer a flyover state. We are the destination. And today, we've just posted the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the Commonwealth. We'll have some more comments at our Team Kentucky update later today, but the Lieutenant Governor and I are thrilled at what this means for Kentucky families, and we'll continue this positive building of a world-class reputation that Kentucky has developed for securing some of the biggest and most important projects and some of the biggest companies across the world in their history. So today we got a few folks in studio. We've got a few on the line, and we'll start with Tom Latek.
Well, thank you, Governor. So where do we go from here? I mean, is this not, this is really obviously good news, but doesn't this also mean that there's going to be more competition for jobs and companies are going to have to pay more in the way of wages to attract people to fill their openings?
Well, what this means is there are not Kentuckians refusing to work. The safety net is not keeping anybody out of the workforce. What it means is that we've got to look at a couple of the real drivers as we look for more Kentuckians to fill more jobs. Number one is we got to make sure that we place every single graduating high school senior in either higher education or a job. These are people coming into the workforce, especially at graduation this year. We got to get our people healthier. Now, we have more people than we'd like on disability or who are too unhealthy to work. That's why healthcare, access to healthcare, whether it is urban or rural, is so critical, and getting everybody covered by some form of healthcare coverage. We've also got to grow, and all these jobs are bringing more people in to the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I expect our population over the next 10 years will grow at a greater rate than we have seen in a long time. So we need to continue to tell our story. It's one of the reasons I asked the General Assembly for advertising dollars. They didn't give us exactly what we asked for, but we're going to have some real flexibility in some of the dollars that are there.
Follow up?
Sure.
How does this compare to national?
I have not seen the seasonally adjusted national rate. We'll get that for you before we're done. Phil?
More people working means more people paying taxes. I guess the other side would say this signals that there needs to be more tax relief, more tax reform. I mean, what do you say? Are you still saying the same thing about that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, listen, this is incredible economic news. This plus last year, plus all the jobs announcements, including Catalent and Clark County today, shows there's a really bright future. But there is a tough present. Inflation is making it tough for our families to meet basic needs. There's even a baby formula shortage, which has got to be so scary for young parents. So while I think we see that our future is going to be brighter than ever, looking for ways to provide relief in the short term, like freezing the property taxes on vehicles, which I was able to do, and then the General Assembly made it permanent, are ways that we can help our people. But it's got to be ways that help them with what they're facing right now. That's why I proposed a reduction in the sales tax to the General Assembly, because everybody is paying too much, and some people don't end up paying income tax because they don't earn enough. So as we look at quote unquote tax reform, it needs to help everybody in their daily lives. And right now, that's in how much things cost. Carolina?
I want to go back to, when COVID was really high here in Kentucky and we were posting scary high unemployment numbers. Did you think it was possible for us to hit this number this quickly?
Yeah, a lot of us were in this room at the height of COVID when we saw a lot of people for their own health at a time when we didn't know how to treat this virus. We didn't have enough tests. We were praying for a vaccine, but never thought we'd get it as quickly as we could when the mortality rate was significantly higher than what we have right now. We knew it would have an economic impact. I think we all thought it would last longer than it has. I mean, the economy has just roared back, and not just roared back across the United States, but we have more investments going forward when you look at Kentucky than we did at this time pre-pandemic. We have more interest in Kentucky. We have more companies locating here. So it's a blessing. It's an incredible blessing, but I think it also shows the post-COVID economy is going to be different, with people not as focused on the coasts, people giving Kentucky a second or third look. I would have said last year, I thought we had a chance to jump 10 state economies. I now think we've got a chance to be a top 10 state economy. That won't happen overnight, but we are surging in ways that most of us never dreamed was possible. Austin Horn on the line. You have Austin, James? How about Kimberly Keegi?
Hi, Governor Beshear. Thank you for taking our questions today. You know, when you think about Eastern Kentucky, we often see that part of the state having the highest unemployment rate. When you look at different portions of the state, how do you convey this news to maybe those in Eastern Kentucky who are still suffering from job loss?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good question. So we are seeing a future of prosperity here in Kentucky, maybe even historic prosperity. But in a historic moment, you've got to get it right, which means that prosperity has to reach parts of Kentucky that are too often left out. That's parts of Eastern and Western Kentucky, and also each and every one of our neighborhoods in our larger cities. I'm excited about jobs announcements that we are making in Eastern Kentucky, which is now the hub of agriculture technology. In the Ashland area, I expect a number of announcements here in the future. We made one just about a couple of months ago. It means we have to be intentional as we move forward in showing sites in Eastern Kentucky to these companies, but we are also seeing companies wanting to move towards a ready labor force as one of their most important considerations. Eastern Kentucky has an incredible workforce that is ready and that works hard, and we believe that there is going to be good news. Now, we have created more jobs in that area and in parts of southeastern Kentucky as well than we've seen in a while, but that's not enough. So we remain committed, and we are going to, I believe, have some really good news as we move into the future for all parts of Kentucky. This success should lift everybody up, and nobody should be left out. It's also one of the reasons we're making all these infrastructure investments, whether that's water, sewer in Catlettsburg and in Ashland, or whether it's some of the investments, including the regional driver's license operation, which is really important in Pikeville. We want to keep making sure the new letting of the next section of the Mountain Parkway, that we are addressing any and all infrastructure challenges so that Eastern Kentucky has an opportunity not only to compete, but to succeed. Let's try Austin again. Okay. Well, we will be back at 12:30 for the Team Kentucky update. Thank y'all.